I'm not saying that Ron DeSantis is the greatest guy in the world, but what he did to Kamala Harris this morning was absolutely fantastic. And this is the way you need to handle the media. Brian's going to show us a clip here in a second. Basically what happened is Hurricane Milton came through last night. It caused I think at least 10 are dead, 3 point something million people are out of power. It's an absolutely horrendous thing happening like a week after or less than 2 weeks after Helene came through Florida. It's like really devastating. And after this story, we're going to talk about, Florida weather patterns and whether the government is controlling it or not. So stay tuned for that. But basically DeSantis is dealing with like a major problem in his state. And it's like, everything is like emergency this, emergency that. And he's talking about it, giving an update. And they ask him this question about Kamala Harris. Go ahead, bro.
You turned down calls from both Biden and Harris. Are you saying you're not aware of that? And if so, how are you not aware of that?
So Biden called me a couple days ago with Helene when I was on the helicopter. I didn't have any issues. They had helped us with what we've done. I'm not aware that he's tried to call since then. Certainly hasn't called my phone, so I don't know quite where they're getting that information. At the same time, we got the approvals that we need. If there's something else that we need, I'll hop on the phone very quickly, whether that's the FEMA administrator or the president, and we will press the case to be able to get approvals for what we need in Florida. But we have gotten approvals for everything that we've asked for.
Code in this area?
The NBC story is false as far as Harris and you go.
I didn't know that she had called, so I'm not sure who they called. They didn't call me, and their characterization of it was something that they did. It wasn't anything that anybody in my office did in terms of saying that it was political.
Given the severity of the storm, since I did want to ask you about politics right now in terms of should
I don't really want to answer questions about it. This is not a time for politics. No, excuse me, Gary. You and your publication will twist anything that's done to try to make a political agenda. That's what you do. That's how you get your clicks. I understand that. I understand that's the business model. Well, but I don't want to talk about politics because, but I have a feeling that however you do, you guys will find a way to frame it. That's just your shtick. I get it. It's fine. Yeah. But I don't want to participate in it. We have had to respond to a Category 4 hurricane. We've had to prepare and now respond to something that may hit as a major hurricane, may be Category 4, may even be bigger than that. We hope that it does. But that should be the focus. And I think some of these questions are trying to create some type of political angle where there's just none there.
Yeah. So, that's how you respond to the media who's trying to. And what did he basically say here, bro?
Excuse me, Gary, shut up. Shut the fuck up, Gary. Sorry.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, she's never called the other 3.5 years she was vice president, but now she calls that she's running for an election. And I think that's what I was talking about being disingenuous. She's trying. And now what happened was he wasn't going to say anything, I don't think, but she came out and attacked him this morning saying that he was making this thing political. Right.
You're making it political by deciding to all of a sudden do your job in the last few months of your election. She has done so little for years. And all of a sudden, the last few months, she's been the most active I've ever seen a vice president be active because she's trying to run.
She's not doing vice president stuff.
No, she's not
She's doing running for office.
Yeah. When she was like
not even doing her job.
That call we saw where she's on a call with like her board about FEMA and they go to ask the questions.
Jesus. Yeah.
It's super controversial. And she's like, live streaming. She literally went like this. She went, live streaming. Like, dude, we can see you. Like, you know how technology works, right? Like, yeah. It's crazy. All of a sudden, she's hyper involved in all these things that she was never involved with. She's doing very presidential stuff, to be fair.
That's what the president would do. But see, the problem is it's disingenuous. That's what I'm saying. It's not real. Like, it's all make-believe. It's like when AOC went down to the border to take pictures. She wasn't at the border. She took pictures nowhere near the border, but it made it look like she was.
It was an empty lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's these weird things that politicians do, and I'm not saying it's just one side or the other. I'm sure both sides
is such a cute dummy,
but
she's so cute.
She might be president someday. Be careful.
She might be, and you know what? I'm here for it.
You're going to be here for it. So, here's the thing:
that'll be also when Starbucks also becomes a hand job factory. And Carlos Jr. is running all the advertising.
Oh, careful what you
brought to you by Brondo.
Yeah. So essentially, if you haven't seen, she's been doing like these interviews lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she did this interview with ABC where she was asked a question about the Israeli president Benjamin Netanyahu, and essentially she gave an answer. The answer we all saw was very short, very concise, still not very good of an answer, kind of weird, but it was that somebody leaked the actual whole answer where she's like saying like, well, it's important that our country believes in what it believes in, because when we don't believe in what we believe, we have a problem believing in those things that we should believe, because believing is what Americans do best. Believe me. Right? Like these are the answers that she's giving, and like ABC's like cutting it down, like they're trying to like help her, like, you know, you
cut it down. There's like 15 jump cuts. We believe what? One, believe. Two, no, Israel. Thank you.
It's just so hilarious. If she, you know, it makes me sad to think that this level, you know, they used to be able to get away with this shit, but the internet makes it impossible.
The internet
because
makes
people, they just make it impossible. Just so you guys know, the government's been hiding shit from us for decades. Now they just can't do it and keep it hidden anymore. And it's interesting to watch stuff like this happen all the time.
Right. Yeah. It's
anyways,
the internet has a lot of things that it did wrong, but one thing it did right was it kept the idea of free speech alive, and I like that about it. You know what I mean? Like there are still enough people that believe in the idea of free speech and truth tellers, and, you know, saying what you believe, even if it's dumb, you know, then there isn't. And so because the internet exists and people can freely post those things on places like X, like, to be fair, whether you like Elon Musk or not, you know, the fact that he bought X was a good thing.
Absolutely.
Before it was 100% an echo chamber. People that say it wasn't an echo chamber, you're part of the echo chamber, guys.
Well, there's a reason why it's there. This is happening. We're actually going to talk about this in the next segment. We're going to go deeply into it. But the last thing just to say about what's going on, you know, with politics, it doesn't matter who you're voting for or what's going on. Can we all agree that some of the most ridiculous shit we have ever seen in the history of politics has happened this year? And I'm here for the next 30 days to just see what the hell's going to, somebody's probably going to get killed. Somebody's probably going to,
God forbid,
you know, weird shit's going to come out. The next 30 days is going to be crazy.
The next 30 days is going to be nuts.